Let's say, come here. Cell Squad is something. Don't look off the dance, man. Yo, you want something? Yeah, man. Cell Squad is. Yeah, man. Don't lock it off. Don't tell her. Guess what, Squad? Go buy a peanut from the peanut man. When him a go through in the dance, in a inbox him have everything you want. Herbs by the bottom by the stock. I like the top shell and them a shell down the bar. Watch it, mind your step on them clock. Welcome to True Island History Channel. This is the story of Daniel Boone, one of America's stalwart pioneers, a frontiersman, if you will, back in the 18th century. And his exploits was instrumental in the building of what we now come to know as the United States of America. Because before him and many others like him, it was just a big old landscape running wild with buffaloes and Indians, and there were blacks here before even whites, yes? But that part of history, for some reason, was erased. Why? They always say conquerors always erase the conquered victory. And history has attested to that. But Daniel Boone, yes, he played an instrumental role. He was born on November 2nd, 1734, and he died on October 22nd, 1820. He was an American pioneer, frontiersman whose exploits made him one of the first folk heroes of the United States. Boone became famous for his exploration and settlement of what is now the state of Kentucky, which was then beyond the western borders of the 13 colonies, because back then it was just colonies before it was united. Despite resistance from the American Indians, for whom Kentucky was a traditional hunting ground, in 1775, Boone blazed the wilderness trail through the Cumberland Gap and into Kentucky, where he founded Boonesboro. And Boonesboro was one of the first English-speaking settlements west of the Appalachian Mountains. By the end of the 18th century, more than 200,000 people had entered into Kentucky by following the route marked by Daniel Boone. Boone served as a militia officer during the Revolutionary War from 1775 to 1783, which in Kentucky was fought primarily between American settlers and British allied American Indians. Boone was captured by the Shawnees in 1778 and adopted into the tribe, but he escaped and continued to help to defend the Kentucky settlements. He was elected to the first of his 3 terms in the Virginia General Assembly during the war, and he fought in the Battle of Blue Licks in 1782, one of the last battles of the American Revolution. Boone worked as a surveyor and a merchant after the war, but he went deep into debt as a Kentucky land speculator. So frustrated with his legal problems resulting from land claims in 1799, Boone resettled in Missouri, where he spent most of the last 2 decades of his life. He was a legend in his own lifetime, especially after an account of his adventures was published in 1784, making him famous in America. After his death, Boone became the subject of many heroic tall tales and works of fiction. His adventures, real and legendary, helped create the archetypal frontier hero of American folklore. In American popular culture, Boone is remembered as one of the foremost earlier frontiersmen, even though mythology often overshadows the historical details of his life. And for some people who do not know what a frontiersman is, a frontiersman is a man that lives off the wild. He lives in the wilderness, rides horses, hunts. He does not integrate himself with what we call urban society. He stays in the mountains, drink river water, hunt, plant, eat ground produce. That's what a frontiersman does, actually. Boone, he was the 6th of 11 children in a family of Quakers. You ever hear about the Quaker Oats? Yes. He's coming from that line. His father, Squire, was born in 1696. He died in 1765, sadly. But all men die, but only some of us truly live. And he had immigrated to the colonial Pennsylvania from the small town of Bradninch, England in 1713. In 1720, Squire, a weaver and a blacksmith, he married Sarah Morgan in the 1700s, whose family were Quakers from Wales. In 1731, the Boones built a little one-room log cabin in the Ole Valley in what is now Berks County in Pennsylvania. So you see how historic that is for all of you living in Berks County that listening to this channel. You know you have a historic site somewhere near you. And that's near present Reading, where Daniel Boone was born. Boone spent his early years on the Pennsylvania frontier, often interacting with the American Indians. Boone learned to hunt from local settlers and Indians. So by the age of 15, he had a reputation as one of the region's best hunters. And many stories about Boone emphasize his hunting skills. In one tale, the young Boone was hunting in the woods with some of the boys when a howl of a panther scattered all but Boone. Arroo! Arroo! He calmly cocked his rifle and shot the predator boom through the heart as it just leapt at him. The story may be a folk tale, one of many that became part of Boone's popular image. In Boone's youth, his family became a source of controversy in the local Quaker community. In 1742, Boone's parents were compelled to publicly apologize after their eldest child, Sarah, married a worldling or a non-Quaker while she was visibly pregnant. When Boone's oldest brother, Israel, also married a worldling in 1747, Squire Boone stood by his son and was therefore expelled from the Quakers. Now they had to go fend for their bread in desolate places. Although his wife continued to attend to monthly meetings with their children, perhaps as a result of his controversy, in 1750, Squire sold his land and moved the family to North Carolina, away from prying eyes. Daniel Boone did not attend church again. He became a Wesleyan. Although he always considered himself a Christian, Daniel Boone did, and had all his children baptized to the fact. And the Boones eventually settled on the Yadkin River in what is now known as Davie County, North Carolina, about 2 miles, 3 kilometers west of Mocksville. Boone received a little formal education since he preferred to spend his time hunting, shooting deers, running down squirrels, the likes. His preference, Apparently with his parents' blessings, though. And according to family tradition, when a school teacher expressed concern over Boone's education, Boone's father said, "Let the girls do the spelling, and Dan will do the shooting." Boone was tutored by family members, though his spelling remained unorthodox somewhat. Historian John McFarger cautioned that the folk image of Boone was semi-illiterate is misleading, arguing that Boone acquired a level of literacy and that he was equal of most men of his time. So Boone was learned. But when stories come down through the annals of history, well, it's kind of twisted somewhat like Fern Gully. Boone regularly took reading material with him on his hunting expeditions. The Bible and Gulliver's Travels were his favorites. He was often the only literate person in the groups of frontiersmen and would sometimes entertain his hunting companions by reading to them around campfires. We have come to the end of part 1 of the journey of Daniel Boone, the American pioneer and frontiersman. Join us for part 2 on the True Island History channel as we delve deeper. The story gets even way more interesting as his journey continues. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend and learn about our history channel. God bless. Until next time.
Nazi, come here. Cell squad is something. Don't look off the dance, man. Yo, you want something? Yeah, man, cell squad is... yeah, man, don't lock it down. Don't tell her. Guess what, squad? Go buy a peanut from the peanut man. When him a go through in the dance, in a inbox him have everything you want. Herbs by the bud and by the stock. I like the top shell and them a shell down the bar. Watch it, mind you step on them clock.